To God be the glory. Respected Reverend Dr. Rustum Hind Jeffrey, DD PhD, Advisor, International Mission Director. I am reading Everyday Pastors Writing. Today is the 60th portion. And Revelation chapter 1 verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the word of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. And risen Christ says to the church of Smyrna, Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death. And this is the promise for the church of Smyrna. And is writing, and Smyrna under trial. The church of Smyrna was in a trouble, and further trial was implemented. There are three things that the letter says about the trial. It is a thlipsis, afflictions, thlipsis, thilipo, afflicted, persecution, tribulations, trouble, to crush, press, compress, squeeze. Thlipsis, pressure, afflicted, agonized, burdened, persecutions, trouble. Trouble means grievous afflictions or the distress, pressure, burden on the pain. Thlipsis originally meant crushing beneath the weight. The pressure of the events is on the church at Smyrna. It is the potochia, poverty, from the root word meaning cover. The word indicates a state of abject poverty, distractions, indigence. In the New Testament, it describes voluntary poverty that Christ experienced on our behalf. In Corinthians 9:8, and consideration of the saints in Macedonia. 2 Corinthians 8:2, and the extreme want of the church of Smyrna. And how that in a great trial of afflictions, that abundance of their joy, and their deep poverty abundant unto riches of their liberty. Sorrowful you always rejoice, poor at making many rich, as having nothing and yet possessing all things. And he lifted his eyes on his disciples and said, Blessed be he poor, for yours is the kingdom of God. And hearken, my beloved brethren, hath not God chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom which he hath promised to them that love him? So it's a promise, God's promise. In the New Testament, poverty and Christianity as closely connected. Blessed are you poor, says Jesus. Paul describes the Christians at Corinth as being poor, at making many rich. And James spoke of the God's choosing the poor in this world to be rich in faith. In Greek, there are the two words of poverty. Pania describes the state of them, the man who is wealthy, and who, as the Greek defined it, must satisfy his needs with his own hands. Potokio describes complete destitutions. It has been put this way. Penia describes the state of man who has nothing, superfluous, more than enough. Potokia describes the state of a man who nothing at all. The poverty of the Christians was due to the two things. It was due to the fact that most of them belongs to the lower class society. The gulf between the top and the bottom of the social scale was very wide. We know that for instance, that is in Rome, the poorer classes literally starved because contrary winds delayed the corn ship from Alexandria, and the corn dole could not be distributed. There was another reason for that the poverty of the Christians. Sometimes they suffered from the sparing of their gods. There were the times when the heathen mob would suddenly attack the Christians and wreck their homes. Life was not easy for the Christian in Smyrna or anywhere else in the Assyrian world. And thank you very much. May God bless you all richly. Amen.